All right. Coming back to the podcast, Poltergeist OD, the Horrorcore King. What's up,
What
man?
up? Good to see you, man.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a while.
October 10th, 2021, to be exact. I remember that. That was a good
Yeah.
fucking time.
Been that
That
long? We gotta catch up way more
year,
often, man.
yeah, over a year and a half. We talked about Leatherface and shit like that. That was good. How you been since then?
Busy as fuck. Just been working on lots of music. Besides like my full-time job, I do lyric videos for people, so I got lots of commissions on the go. I'm like stocking up for a bunch of drops. I got a solo album coming. I got an album coming with my group Obscene Division. I
Yeah,
got a bunch of singles I'm working on. I got a festival coming up in August. Yeah, just staying busy, man.
yeah. That's awesome. So OD is going strong.
Hell yeah.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. So, Shutter exclusive. So when did this come out? Because I heard a Courtney Cox reference, and I assume that's from the Scream. It's a Scream
Yeah,
reference.
I that song was like I'm gonna say 2 years in the making. I just like it took me a long time to write because there's like what 70 or 80, maybe even more horror movie references in that song. I haven't counted yet, but yeah, I just like had a list of movies that I wanted to use, and it just took forever to write it because I kept going on to other projects and then coming back to it. It was just kind of like piecing it together over time.
Mm.
So yeah, I'm glad I finally got to put it out. I might shoot a video for it. I gotta clean up my collection room because it's a mess right now.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, I might shoot it up there like around all my movies and stuff like that.
Yeah. You were one of the first guests I had that you just didn't give a fuck. Like you're a big name, but you can't. I remember that interview like it was yesterday because you were like, "Yeah, I'm just a guy and I fuck censors," and I was like, "Who is like this guy is fucking awesome." So I've
Yeah,
always been a
man.
fan of yours, man.
I mean, we're all just like some guy, right?
I mean, I'm specifically some guy that hit 36. So I'm definitely some guy. But no, man, I started a new job since the last time I talked to you, and
So did I.
shit's getting real, and
Yeah.
it's awesome. Um, so besides Shutter exclusive, by the way, what was the date on that? And people can obviously go find that. But when did you said it was a long kind of process? When did it actually get released?
I don't even know. I'm so bad with
Go
I'm
get
so
your
bad with
phone. You're
dates.
gonna have to like go into Spotify.
I'm on my phone right now, so I can't even look it up. But it was recent. Like it was what, like a month, maybe 2 months ago.
It was something like
It's the
that.
only song I've put out this year because just I've been, like I said, I've been stockpiling music because I'm tired of putting out like one or two songs a year
Mm,
because like it'll take me forever to work on something and
yeah.
then to do the videos and then to release it and promote it. It just takes forever. So I want to have like yeah, like two albums, at least 5 to 10 singles,
Mhm.
so that once I start dropping, I think I'm going to start dropping in October and just like once a month have a new project.
That's awesome, man. And you know what's also a first? I've never drank a long neck on the podcast before until now. There's my first.
Nice.
I didn't even have time to pour it into a proper like thing. I just was like, shit. I was running. I was a few minutes late. Late. I'll throw myself under the bus. So I was like, shit. I don't have time to pour the beer. So fuck it. I'm just gonna put it in the thing and koozie and rock and roll. Cheers to
It's
your
blurred.
yeah. Cheers
Yeah,
to your
cheers. I'm
cheers to
cheap
your
as fuck though.
success.
I'm just drinking cheap brew house in a can.
Hey, cheers to your success,
Thanks, man.
and hopefully we can do this way more often, man. Like you were saying. Um, let's go back into history. I know we talked about most of your like beginnings on the last podcast, which people can go back and listen to.
You should.
You should. Um, talk about the grind, man. Like the original grind, like when you first like did your first song and everything.
Man. Well, I met like I was a metalhead growing up. I was all into like death metal and grindcore and shit like that. And then I met the guys in Obscene Division, Razor Wire and Nick Obscene, and they were already rapping, but like they like listened to metal and stuff, and we became friends. And they already rapped, and we were just like drunk in Razor Wire's garage one night. I scribbled down a rap, like fucking 40 bars, because I didn't know how to count bars at that time. And
Yeah.
they were like, that was actually really dope. And I like that felt good. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep doing this. It was really fun. And we didn't really take it seriously for about like 2 years. We, kind of recorded some shitty songs on his laptop.
Mm.
And then I started meeting more people in the hip hop community here in Edmonton. And I got put on my first show at a place that's it's not even open anymore. It was called Wonder Bar on White Ave here in Edmonton. And yeah, man, like just like doing the live show really kind of like clicked with me. And I was like, this is what I want to do. And then it was about, I would say 3, 4 years of just like generally rapping like horrorcore material.
Yeah.
And and then somebody hit me up with like an idea because they wanted to make a fan made Halloween documentary. It fell through due to legal reasons, but they wanted me to rap like from the perspective of Michael Myers because they were like already a fan of what I was doing. And I thought that
Mhm.
was really cool. So I like sat there, I messaged my guy, Mock Beats. He sent me a beat that day. And I sat there and I think it took me like an hour or two and I wrote the whole thing in one sitting because there's a million lines that rhyme with Michael Myers.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Like a lot rhymes with it. So it was
Mhm.
really easy and I like felt really comfortable doing it. And then when I released it after it fell through, I just released it as a single anyway. And it got a really good response. So I was like, you know what? Who else do I like? Because I was already like a big horror movie fan. And
Yeah.
then I think I did Phantasm after that, and that got a good response. So I was like, I think this is gonna be my thing now. Like this is just what I want to do.
Yeah. Is that the is that the first, like, when that Michael Myers song, you were like, "Man, I think I got something here"? That what you said, right? Like,
Yeah, because like I've never heard anybody do that before, Like Ice Nine Kills kind of does it, but they're like metalcore, right? So
mm,
they're like the metal version of what I do.
yeah, yeah, I got you, I got you. What are some other notable ones that you've done since the last time you were on the podcast? So, you do anything, like, major, last year?
Uh After Leatherface, what did I do? I did Killer Clowns from Outer Space,
Mm,
and
I think I
I
heard
think
that one or something, I don't know.
that was a fun one. My most recent horror movie one was The Frighteners with Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
It's like it's
I don't
not
think
like a
I saw that.
popular
I don't think
movie.
I saw that one.
Yeah, that one I just like did for me because like I used to hang out at the video store.
That's like
I
me.
grew up in Carbonear, Newfoundland, in like a
Yeah.
small town. So
Mhm.
like I spent like a lot of time at the video store just like looking at the VHS covers. And The Frighteners was one of those ones like lenticular where like it went from like a normal face to like a skull. And
Yeah.
it really intrigued me. So like when I was old enough to watch it, because I don't think I could rent it back then, but it
Back in
really
the
like
day.
stuck with me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that one
Um,
was just like one I did for me. I didn't even expect it to get like a big response or whatever, but people do like it. People who've seen the movie.
yeah, it's like me randomly reviewing The Visit back in the day.
Yeah,
Did you ever see that movie?
The Visit.
I'm the only one that brings it up because I like it
It
that
sounds
much, but
familiar, but I don't
it's
know if
one of
I've
those.
seen
You
it.
ever have one of those like those movies that do bad reviews, but for some reason you like it and you're like, fuck the reviewers?
Yeah, I don't listen to reviews because like
No, but you know what I
I
mean?
like garbage.
It's like a yeah, it's like a movie that you like, but then like it's like 40% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's like, damn. Well,
Some of my favorite movies are like terribly reviewed, so I just don't care.
yeah, The Visit's good. You should go watch it. It's
I'll check it out.
It's the ones where they don't tell you who the old people are. So you just assume they're the until they're not actually the grandparents.
Okay.
That's what, and of course they save that for the end. I'm not, I don't want to spoil the whole thing, but that's the gist of it.
All right.
Is
I'll
that
put it on my
you
list.
you
I
assume,
got a massive list
but
of
that's
movies to
the
check
that's
out.
the that's the that's the premise of horror movies to the end of time. They get these movies, they get you to assume something's, normal until it's not. I mean, that's a basic premise, you
Yeah.
know,
I
you
mean,
know.
that's the premise for every Scream movie.
Yeah. It wasn't that you mentioned Halloween earlier, and I think wasn't that the original like influence of Scream was the Halloween movies?
Oh, I have
Because
no idea.
they do reference Freddy and Jason, I think, in the Scream movies, right?
Oh, they
I know.
reference a ton of movies.
Yeah, but I mean in the original, like I know because in the original, let's talk about the three movies. You want to go ahead and dive into that? We'll start with Scream first, because
Yeah,
obviously
sure.
so I picked out three movies, and Poltergeist was awesome in letting me pick them, because I just picked three he was like, hey, let's do some movies. I'm like, because I know that's what you do anyways. But I was just like, all right, I'll pick Pope's Exorcist. Let's see, I got to get my list out. I can't read my own handwriting half the time. Infinity Pool, and all six Screams. Well, we're not gonna talk about all six Screams, but we'll go over
Just the
the
franchise in general.
yeah, we'll go over the filmography. Yeah. So the first one, 1996, for all those young Gen Zers, a long time ago. The original, David Arquette, Courtney Cox, and a bunch of other people were in it. Roger Jackson, I think his name was. I don't know, but it did like crazy. It did 170 million. Like back in the day, that's like nuts.
That's huge, yeah.
Yeah, it was doing like triple digits. I'm
And
like
especially for horror in the
like
90s, because
six
like
figures. Yeah.
horror wasn't like massive in the 90s. It like died out a little bit in like the late 80s, early 90s. And then I think Scream was like one of the big movies that like not I don't want to say reinvented, but just, reinvigorated the scene. Like a lot more people were interested in it because it went really mainstream. Like that movie started it for a lot of people.
Mm. Well, for me, it was Jason. I'm a big Jason guy.
For me, it was
uh,
Stephen King's It.
yeah. That a lot of people reference that, but then you'll get some weird people that say, "Oh yeah, Chucky was the one for me." I'm like, I get people sometimes that are like really into Chucky,
I mean, I am too. Child's Play was, I think, like the third or
but
fourth
like,
horror movie I ever saw when I was a kid. So
yeah,
I
you
saw it
get
pretty
the
early.
you get the same rotation of you know, people. And it's funny, it's like Halloween, like um, costumes. You'll see the same characters every year. There's timeless. So and Ghostface is one of them, just timeless,
Yeah,
you know.
just became an icon almost overnight.
Well, you're old enough to remember when it first came out, right? 96.
Oh yeah, 96.
So did you see it like immediately, or talk
I
about your history with the Scream series?
I don't think I saw it in theaters, but I do remember seeing it. It must have been a year or two after it came out. So like I don't think I was like on the train right from the hop, but
Well, there
it
was
was it was
96, and then
I saw
Scream 2 was right after that, like a year later. Like they're one of these series that they don't fuck around. Like just like with 6, when they actually do it, they put them back to back. Like 6 came out this year, and then last year was 5. So
Yeah,
so when they get serious about Scream, they get real serious.
it was a while between 3 and 4.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like, and a lot of movies are like that. When you know,
hmm
they get
I think
visions,
what
they just go
happened, I
for it.
don't quote me on it, but I think what happened was when they dropped 4, the studio was like, if this does well, we'll sign you up for another 2, and it did do
Mm.
well. So I think that that's like why they pumped him out so quickly.
Well, you got to remember Poltergeist. It must have been when the house exploded in Scream 3. It must have been that. Do you remember that scene?
I
That's
do.
that probably did it. When they did that scene, they were like, "Yeah, we 4. It's in the line." You know,
Mm.
that was a classic scene. What are some others that you know you like that stand out for you? Some scenes.
Oh man. I mean, I love Matthew Lillard, so like any scene with Stu. Obviously the scene where he's like, are you gonna what did he say? Are you
It
gonna call the
wasn't.
cops?
It
My
wasn't
mom's
Rand.
gonna be so
Yeah,
mad at
but
me.
mine was like when Remember when Randy died?
Oh man, I love Jamie Kennedy. I'll watch anything he does.
That
I
shit
still
was.
keep up with his podcast and everything.
I remember when Randy died. That shit was crazy. The way and
Everybody thought he was gonna come back, and it's like, no,
yeah, and
no.
it's like,
But
well, because Sydney never dies. That's why
yeah,
they just
but the
assume.
whole thing, like, they could bring him back because the whole Scream idea is like making fun of like parodying movie tropes.
Mhm.
And a trope is that you could fucking bring anybody back with no explanation. Just his grave gets hit with lightning and boom, he's alive again.
Yeah,
But that I think that would be a little bit like too outlandish for the Scream films because they do try to keep it like a little bit within the realm of reality.
I haven't seen Scream, the newest one. Have you?
I
The one
did. I
that
saw
the
it in
one that
theaters.
the one that just came out. So what's your
Yeah,
non-spoiler review on the newest one?
I liked it. I like the whole franchise. It's cheesy, which I love cheesy. I love parodies. I love
I mean,
when
Poltergeist. You're in the horrorcore business. I mean, if that's not
yeah,
no, I'm not trying to bash the king of horrorcore, but I mean, the
I
basis.
I just like the franchise in general. I feel like they would have to really fuck it up for me to dislike a Scream movie.
I'm just saying, all these, nothing against you. It's all these Halloween movies are cheesy. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I like cheesy.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Honestly, like the worse the better for me. Like if it's fucking made in some guy's backyard for
Oh, so
20
if it was up to
oh,
you, even these 10% movies would get tomatoes.
hell yeah.
Like, what is it, like 50%? They get
I
a
have no idea.
tomato. I think it's like 50 or 60.
I haven't been on Rotten Tomatoes in like 6 years. I just don't
But
give a shit what anybody says about a movie.
no, but you get the
Yeah.
premise behind the thing. But it's just like, yeah, Scream, and man, this shit was classic. Everyone, like, you have people that have never seen Scream in their life, any of them, and they'll know who, like, Ghostface is one of those, like, that's just timeless. Kind of like
Yeah.
with Freddy, Jason, Michael, they're all timeless. What do you think makes like Ghostface so, like, what do you think made it so popular?
I mean, the time it came out, it was something new. Like parody movies really kind of jumped off in the early 2000s. So like before that, there was like Kentucky Fried Movie and stuff like that, obviously. But I think Scary Movie had something to do with it.
Oh yeah, I do remember those. Was it like
I
one,
I
two,
think
three?
I
How
think
many of those
yeah,
were
Scary
there?
Movie 1 and 2 like really kind of solidified it in our culture.
Scare movie. I remember those. One of my favorite horror movies. They're all my favorite, but one of them is. Have you done a Jigsaw song?
No, but I've
You
been
need
asked to
to.
a
I think I
bunch.
asked you that last time, if I'm not mistaken. And if I didn't ask you that last time, I should have asked. I'm asking you now. If I didn't,
I mean, I most likely will,
dude, my
but
friends used to drag me to those. At first I was like, I was like a 16-year-old goody two shoes. I wasn't
mhm.
really popular, and I was just at home a lot and stuff like that. And then they were older than me, so I wanted to be cool. So they were like, "Hey, the Saw movie came out." I'm like, "The fuck is Saw movie? Like, what?" It was just when the first one came out, and
Yeah.
I'm like, "Well, what the hell is this?" And then I by the time I started getting into them, the group started falling apart. I'm like, "Wait a minute, Saw 5 came out, guys." And they're and like it's like, "Oh, we don't care anymore." That was
Yeah.
a while ago.
It
What do
got
you
old
remember?
pretty quick for me. I think the last one I saw was 4.
You didn't see Jigsaw, the spinoff?
I own it. I have it on Blu-ray. It's
That's like
just
me
like I'm a
owning.
completionist when it comes to my collection, so I'll keep buying them. It's just
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah,
I'll get around to it.
yeah, yeah. I finally saw Joker, so I have the complete there. You know,
Mhm.
the spin. Do you consider that like a horror movie, Joker?
I mean, more like a thriller, but
I don't
like
know.
in the realm.
The guy was crazy. You've seen
Yeah,
it, right? The Joker standalone.
yeah, yeah. I've seen it.
That shit was nuts. The end. I was so surprised. I'm not gonna spoil the ending of Joker, but you know what I'm talking about, the talk show.
Well, it's been like when did that come out? Like
Uh,
2016,
yeah,
17? It's
but
been a few years.
this would be a podcast for a while. I don't know. Okay,
We can't
but
talk
I'm not
about
gonna.
spoilers. Oh man. All right, all right.
What's your thoughts on the spoiler? I know there is a community. Do you think spoilers are overrated? Like people that
I mean,
troll,
uh,
or it's kind of the
personally,
same
like
thing as trolling.
I don't watch trailers. I like to go into movies completely blind. Like if I like I'm on Slasher, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, and like if I hear enough people talk about a movie, I'll just write it on my list and
Mhm.
I would like
Mhm.
to know very little about it. Like when Scream 6 was announced,
Yeah.
I blocked it on social media so that I didn't get content for that movie because I was like, I don't even want to see a single scene from it. I don't want a teaser, a trailer, nothing. So
Mm.
like I'm against spoilers, but like I don't know. Sometimes like I'll do a podcast or whatever, and they don't give a shit, so I'll just
Hey,
talk away.
Sensibly Cynical does not endorse spoiler activity.
Fair enough.
Even though we're sensible and cynical at the same time. The second movie I want to talk about, Infinity Pool, Alexander Skarsgård, I think that was his last name. Yeah, so did you see that one?
I did.
Yeah, what's your thoughts on that? When the resort and
Uh, it's not like okay. I don't want to say I didn't like it because like it was a decent movie, but it's one of those ones where like I kind of left it feeling nothing. Like I was
Mhm.
just like whatever. It was weird. It's just kind of one of those movies where it just like leaves you feeling strange, and it's just like, all right, whatever. I don't really know how to explain it, man.
Yeah.
Like it's a strange movie, but like now that I'm thinking about it, like because you said that we were going to talk about it, so I started thinking about it a little bit more, going over it in my head, and I think I might need to watch it again and give it another
You
chance
don't
because
Poltergeist, you don't relate with the struggling writer? Well, obviously, you're not a struggling rapper, so you don't
always a struggle, bro.
empathy. I'm a struggling podcaster. You should be asking me that.
Uh, I
Well,
mean, yeah, like
yeah.
it's Mia Goth, right? Not Maya. Mia Goth.
Mm,
It's a
mhm.
Mia Goth, yo. No.
Yeah, well, they go, island resort, and then they yeah, I got it finally. I was late on that one.
It's all good. Um,
I need to get another beer. This isn't, you know, downed enough quick
I
yet.
got I got the mini fridge right next to me, so
What was your favorite part of the movie?
uh when James, oh yeah, because how do I do this without spoiling?
You
Uh
could just talk about the crazy creatures.
yeah. Um
They were pretty crazy.
yeah, like there was a scene where
I'm gonna see if
ooh,
I remember the scene that you're talking about.
like the little kid,
Oh yeah.
James, the main character.
Yeah.
I thought that scene was nuts when he was like screaming for help, and then there was the oh man, this is hard.
No, let's just move on. Let's just move on.
Yeah, yeah.
So
But people who have seen the movie will know what I'm talking about. That scene
yeah.
with the kid was nuts.
Yeah, it came out January of this year, so already five. And it only did 5 million. Only. If I had
Yeah,
five
just
million,
5 million, just life
if
changing
I
in
had
for you and
yeah, yeah. It's like I don't know if you're a sports person, but like all these contracts now, it's like, yeah, this guy just got these guys. But if you're not a sports person, Poltergeist, these guys are getting like 300 million to swing a baseball bat. Okay. So
Good for them. That's
it's like,
awesome.
oh yeah, yeah, just like $300 million. It's just like $5 million. But
Fuck,
Folks,
I'll take $2,500.
well, some of these, I do want to ask you something that I talked to. Well, I'll save that for the end. But there's something I want to ask you about the business or the rap game right now.
Sure.
But anyways, is that it for Infinity Pool? Anything you want to? Anything else
It's so
that
hard to
people
get
need to
into a
know?
movie like that without spoiling it because
So, is it a tomato or is it a not a tomato in
I don't know.
your eyes?
Both, I guess. Like I know people who loved it. I know people who hate it. And I'm not really on either side of the fence with it. It's just like
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch it again to really decide.
Yeah. All right. So the last movie, Pope's Exorcist, Russell Crowe.
I have so much to say about this movie.
In the Vatican? Is that what you're gonna talk about? The Vatican?
Nope.
Go.
So the first thing I want to bring
I don't
up,
know why I thought that was funny. I don't know why I thought that was funny.
the first thing I want
It's
to
the
bring up,
beer. It's the beer. Go ahead.
so this isn't really a spoiler because most people know this by now, but there's a big thing with the Spanish Inquisition in this movie, and the prop department fucked up bad. They must have Googled Inquisition symbol, and
Mhm.
instead of getting the actual Spanish Inquisition symbol, they got a symbol from this game, Dragon Age Inquisition, in the
Yeah.
movie, which blows my mind because how many channels did that have to go through? And everybody was just like, yeah, whatever, it looks
To,
okay to me
to
because
get
like the
approved.
symbols are completely different.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the what was it? He uncovers conspiracy. Now, in real life, do you think Russell Crowe is a conspiracy theorist?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't know anything about it.
I
I don't know
wonder. I
anything
wonder
about
if
his
he. I
personal
don't know
life.
if he.
I know he's an amazing actor and I love his movies. Unhinged, if you haven't seen it, is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, yeah. So, what's your favorite part of the movie? Because obviously, the box office agrees with you. 74.3 million. Like,
I didn't really like it.
no,
I mean, if I never
I
saw
don't.
an
I'm
exorcism
not
movie, it
a
would have been a
psychic.
great movie.
Obvious. Not a psychic, obviously, because I just assumed you did like it. You didn't like it. Okay.
It just felt like every Exorcist movie mashed into one. They like took all the corniest, cheesiest
The
parts of every
Exorcist.
movie and
Yeah.
did those.
Yeah.
Like I didn't like all the CGI usage, like the stretch mouth thing, that's overdone as hell. And I'm so tired of
And
seeing
did you
it.
see the opening? The opening scene with the girl.
Yeah. Like with the pig,
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
like that. I saw that and I was like, this is gonna be dope. But then they just kept going with the cheesy tropes, like even the head spinning around and everything. I was just like, man, are they gonna do every fucking cheesy
Yeah.
part of every Exorcist
Yeah,
movie?
it's like I know what you did last summer. I think that's it for the horror movie discussion. Unless there's anything else you want to talk about, Poltergeist?
Um, I do want to talk about a movie I saw recently that I don't think is getting enough love. I think it's Swedish. I fucking hope it's Swedish. There's a movie. There's a movie called Hatching. It's subtitled,
Okay,
so you
go
gotta
ahead.
read.
Well, I
But
mean, it
it's
makes
so
sense.
unique
It's
and
from
so well
Sweden.
done. It's like classic monster movie, but done in a very unique way. And I think like a lot of people should watch it because I personally would love to see more movies like that. So if you haven't seen Hatching, check it out.
Do you have a summary? Like what
It's
it's
it's Finnish. um,
Oh, it's not
it's it's about a girl who finds an egg in the forest and she like raises it. It becomes like the egg grows and grows and becomes like as big as her and hatches this monster. And the monster's like attached to her, like emotionally, and becomes more and more like her and like starts killing anybody that pisses her off. It's really cool.
All right. Well, what's it called again?
Hatching.
It's the beer. That's why I'm not my recollection skills. You know,
All good.
I
I'm
had a
having a
long
couple
day.
too.
I had a long day at work, Poltergeist, but it was
Me too,
it was
man.
a good day at work because it's payday. So, you know,
Hell yeah, payday for me too.
not just the candy bar for those old people that remember that one. Do you remember payday?
What's that?
Payday. They don't have paydays in Canada? It's a
What do you
candy
mean payday?
bar. It's a candy bar. Oh
Oh shit.
man. You need
I don't know.
to
Maybe we do,
you
maybe we don't.
for those that haven't looked up payday, look it up. It's good. It's got like a white wrapper and it's payday and
Hey,
orange.
I'm a white
They're
rapper.
that was a good one. But I'll have
Blech.
to I'm gonna I'm gonna put that on the Instagram reel. That's fucking awesome, bro. That's the Instagram reel right there. So Poltergeist, anything coming up?
Yeah, man, I got a lot coming up. I got a festival I'm doing in August here next month, Intersect Art and Music Festival in High Prairie, Alberta. Um, I got a solo album coming out that's like nothing to do with horror movies or anything like that. It's just some songs that I've been working on the side just as a rapper. And instead of just like releasing them as singles here and there, I just figured I'd drop them all as like one project. I got
Mhm.
an album I'm doing with Obscene Division. It's our first actual album. We put out a mixtape in like 2012 or something called KSW. It's not even on Spotify or YouTube or anything. You got to look it up on like
It's
Bandcamp.
it's hidden. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you got to really look. That's a deep cut for the fans. But it's it's going to be called Regenerate because it's like us coming back. It's like our big comeback. It's going to be wild. We got some crazy ideas. It's going to be produced by Lurch Marley. Um, other than that, I have a Stephen King song that I just finished a little while ago. I'm going to be dropping that soon, but like I want to make it a big deal. Like I want to like gather the troops on all my socials and be like tag Stephen King in this because if he likes it and he retweets it, then I can officially say Stephen King endorses me when I promote my shit.
Yeah.
And if he
Stephen
if
King.
he hates it, then whatever. Fuck Stephen King. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I hear you. I hear you. Stephen King is something else, a treasure, I guess. You
Oh
know,
yeah,
he's a treasure to some.
to me,
Well, you're some. Other people, I don't know. Is Stephen King universally liked?
I would assume so.
I mean, I don't know. Some
I
people
mean,
hate. Some people hate.
most people I know like Stephen King, but I'm sure there's some fucking nerd out there who's like, no.
All right. Where can people find you on social media, man?
You can find me on all social media as Poltergeist underscore OD. Uh, I'm on I'm on Facebook as Poltergeist space OD because they don't do underscores.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Slasher. If you haven't heard of Slasher, it's like the social media for horror fans specifically. It's
Mm-hmm.
so cool. I get like all of my horror news from that. Um, it's such a great community, and yeah, just Poltergeist underscore OD. You'll find me anywhere.
All right. One last question. Um, how has the game changed since even when you started?
It's gotten harder to promote because first of all, I do like horrorcore music, so the world we're living in right now, like I can't really promote my music a lot because I get flagged. I can't pay for ads because like all my lyrics are heinous. So and I use footage from the movies for my lyric videos.
Oh,
So yeah, it's really hard to promote, but I don't know. It's still thriving. Like hip hop's not dying. It's just going deeper underground.
but it takes money,
It does.
Poltergeist.
It takes a lot of money and a lot of money I do not have.
Then create money.
That's right.
But you can't create money without having it first.
I got
I
a
mean,
website I'm gonna be dropping later this year. Um, that's gonna have like a huge merch line. And if that does well, then I can do more and I can like, get bigger features and stuff like that and, get my name out there. And obviously the bigger I get, the more I can do for the fans. So
Yeah.
hopefully everybody buys my merch when I drop it.
Yeah, because I remember being at a party back in the day. I don't know, I was like 19, and some guy was talking about, oh yeah, my buddy got a feature for like 6 figures. And I'm I'm like, damn, for 6 figures? And
Yeah.
that was like in 2000 like 7. I'm like,
What
damn.
do you remember who the
I
artist was?
don't I don't
Yeah, fair
I
enough.
don't remember. Some Florida rapper.
Don't matter.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah,
Poltergeist.
yo, thank you. Dude, anytime. Anytime you want to chat, I'm always down.
All right, man. Take it easy, okay? Have a good one.
You too.
All right, man. Peace.